in the industry, having, your wife also working for similar things actually helps you a lot. That is what I have also been helping out. He has also been helping out my husband, helping each other out in
Uh,
different things. Another thing, another perspective, Orko, I wanted to ask from you is, so why are there so many few women in the tech industry, specifically, we see that teams are full of males and the women in tech are very less. Do you think it is there? Or it's only my perspective?
I think it depends. So, to be very honest, I think it varies from industry to industry.
Okay.
So, for example, if I were to work in manufacturing sectors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, that's something that I would observe a lot more, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, tech leaders, tech female leaders are comparatively lesser.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think I have seen green offshoots where that has been changing
Okay.
in a certain setup or in a certain set or sectors of industry, right? So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
in consulting, for example, I see
Mm-hmm.
a lot more prevalence of uh, women being in and not just women, right?
Mm-hmm.
People of other genders also being part of of the workforce, so to speak.
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
but then if I were to then flip the script and talk about how many of them eventually go on to take those leadership roles,
Right. Right.
I think lesser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't I don't really think there's much of a difference in terms
Mm-hmm.
of you know the people the women
Mm-hmm.
leaders that I do know, they
Mm-hmm.
are exceptionally good, right? So I don't really think that there are differences
Right. Right.
that are there, that inherently prevent women from getting there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think there are a lot of other constructs of not societal, but I think more of socio-economic constructs that possibly hinder this. For example, um, when you are a leader,
Mm-hmm.
right? One of the things that you need to be very, okay doing is you need to be coercive sometimes. You need to really go after people sometimes when they
Right.
are
Right.
just going off the script
Of course.
completely,
Of
right?
course.
And
Right. Right.
coercion is actually one of the pillars of
Mm.
leadership, right?
Mm.
Um, I think women women typically find it more difficult to be coercive. They are more mentor like, right? Whereas
Mm-hmm.
men typically tend to be more coercive in nature. So I think it's a fine balance where each can learn from the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I think given the right opportunities being the key word,
Mm-hmm. Right.
um,
Right.
I think I don't see why women would face difficulties. They
Mm-hmm.
do because I think there are issues in terms of it's at that moment in time when they possibly become pregnant or
Right.
they go for
Right.
that
Right.
month and then they come back
Right.
and life
Right.
has moved
Right.
on and new technologies have come in. They have to upskill.
Right.
But if,
Right.
but if someone is willing to upskill, if someone is
Mm-hmm.
um, willing to kind of uh, pull their weight, so to speak, right? I
Right.
don't see a challenge. What definitely has to happen is the company culture, right?
Okay. Okay.
Little things, for example,
Mm-hmm.
when someone is about to go on a maternity leave, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat them different. I don't
Mm.
think any
Right.
woman likes to be treated different.
Right.
Oh, you are 7 months pregnant. Also, maybe we let's not put her on. Don't do
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
I think if those
Mm-hmm.
cultural steps are fair and well
Mm-hmm.
put, I and I've been lucky enough to be in such kinds of organizations,
Nice.
and I tell my women compatriots that you
Mm-hmm.
should be vocal about such things. Sometimes sometimes the person in front of you may actually be thinking about you.
Right, of course, of
They
course.
might be thinking that
Right,
they are
right,
thinking from your perspective and trying to
right,
give you,
right, right,
but you
right.
are possibly not expecting that. So I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it comes down to communication, where you
Right,
have to speak
right,
and say,
right,
if you are doing, if I hope you are not doing this because of such and such reasons.
right,
So
right,
if you are
right.
willing to stand up and say it out loud, I think a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
people will get the message, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be fearless in saying that. It's
I totally
yes,
agree, you know. I think people, they're shy of, or they don't speak up. So what they want, I also resonate with this, that you have to speak up. You have to tell very clearly what you want. I
correct.
being a woman, if I want to be into leadership, senior leadership, I have to say that. Unless I say that,
Yes,
I'll not get that opportunity. People are ready
yes.
to give the opportunity, but unless I say what I want, people will not give me that thing, right?
And at the end of the day, Swati, it's a competition. It's a
Hmm.
competitive environment,
Of
right? There are
course. Of course.
we and everyone needs to
Mm-hmm.
speak up, right? As to
Right,
what they
right,
and
right,
not
right.
shy away from those conversations.
Mm.
And I think if you are in a decent enough company, I think there
Mm-hmm.
are enough
Mm-hmm.
safeguards in place that are always there within a company setup where
Mm-hmm.
those things can be worked out, right?
Right,
So
right.
my sense is communication is a